The Archipelago Department continues to be present at the Governor's Summit in Meta 2021. In this regard, the interim governor, Allen J. Stevens, explained the need to work together with the national government in the reconstruction and reactivation of the islands.
The Governor's Summit continues, and the archipelago has presented issues of vital importance for the reactivation and reconstruction of the islands. In this regard, the interim governor explained the need to work together with the national government to achieve a prompt and effective development of the Archipelago Department.
La idea es seguir trabajando mancomunadamente.
The idea is to continue working together not only in the process of reconstruction and recovery of the Archipelago Department, but in all the specific issues that we are discussing today in this summit, where we are focusing on the whole issue of economic reactivation, on the issue of sustainability, on the issue of sustainable agriculture, because it is not how we accompany each other, but instead how we put together a team to move these processes forward in coordination with the national government.
It is worth mentioning that the 2021 Summit of Governors being held in Meta culminated today after 2 days where sustainable strategies for the territories of the country have been presented and where the island was able to present its needs.
The interim governor of the Archipelago, Allen J. Stevens, was sanctioned by the Civil Court of the island for breach of guardianship.
The First Municipal Civil Court of San Andres Island declared the interim governor of the Archipelago Department, Allen J. Stevens, in contempt of court for breach of guardianship and imposed a penalty of 6 legal monthly minimum wage, equivalent to 5,451,156 pesos, in accordance with the decision dated February 19 of 2021. The decision refers to the order of guardianship in relation to works at the Bolivariano School that were not fulfilled, specifically the enclosure of the institutional perimeter to build the final wall, despite having been agreed at a meeting convened on March 8 of 2019. According to the court's document, to date, the enclosure wall of the Bolivariano School has not been built, neither the provisional enclosure to which the department committed itself in light of the order of guardianship that gave rise to present contempt. The purpose of the enclosure of the institution is to prevent the access of outsiders into the school. In dialogue with the departmental government, it is indicated that at the beginning of 2020, the Secretary of Education made the arrangements for the construction of the wall through public bid number 005 of 2020. The work was project to be executed in 4 months, considering that the resources was required immediately. The authorization of future validity was requested to the Assembly, but approval was not achieved. The government insisted on the extraordinary session and the request was not approved in the debate. This journalistic house will be attentive to the evolution of this news and the administration report on the status of this work.
And in the afternoon, a meeting was held to follow up on the agreements established in the prior consultation on the process of adaptation to the Cotton Key Boatman's Dock.
The departmental government was present at the follow-up meeting throughout the Tourism Secretariat, Fontur, RISA leaders, and maritime transportation companies, so that in this way it is known in detail how the process of adaptation of the embarkation and disembarkation point is going.
Today we are following up on the prior consultation agreements between the RISA ethnic community, Fontur, and the departmental government. So the point we are dealing with today is the Cotton Key Boatman's Dock, formerly known as the Police Dock. We are following up on the commitments made with the community and showing the progress made by the national and local entities regarding this project, which is of benefit to the entire Rizal ethnic community.
The president of the Rizal Authority also stated the importance of the socialization of this process.
It's very important for us to be involved in this process because, one, this is going to define the importance of our Rizal working in tourism. The Rizal have been the first people on the beach, when I can recall, who've been working with tourism. And so our presence in this process of previous consultation is crucial because it defines and it guarantees a space that belongs to the Rizal community. And we are here to protect it and to guarantee that once the work is finished completely, it is given to the local administration or governación, and then the governación give it to the Rizal Authority. And after, we define which Rizal organization, we will.
Let's remember that due to the pandemic, the adaptation of this dock that is spearheaded by Fontour had some delays since we were closed for several months. And also with the hurricanes Eta and Iota, it suffered some damage which are already being repaired by Fontour. It is expected that the competent authorities guarantee that the delivery of this point is done effectively and in a satisfying way so that the community can make use of it.
And in order to reduce micro-trafficking on the island and create awareness in children from an early age, the Anti-Narcotics Directorate of the National Police has been developing several campaigns for this purpose.
The Anti-Narcotic Police, in conjunction with the Sport Secretariat in favor of ending micro-trafficking networks on the island, carry out an activity with the children of the Cristo Vive in the Morris Landing sector.
Con el fin de concientizarlos, se realizó la campaña.
In order to raise awareness in children from an early age, we carried out the campaign Draft for a Drug-Free Archipelago, in which we asked the children to use their imagination to highlight how they imagine the island free of drugs, free of consumption, free of the effects that drug trafficking is currently having on the island.
The activity had prizes for the children, a kit of native Caribbean games that included recreational items such as jumping rope, spinning tops, yo-yo, among others. It is worth mentioning that the Anti-Narcotics Directorate has also been developing school programs in educational institutions and neighborhoods where they strengthen the character of minors when they are confronted with pressure from their families and social environment. The next one will be at the Luis Amigo School.
And the second edition of Travel Fest Colombia returns in March, an event that seeks to help boost tourism during the pandemic, and this year we'll have the archipelago as a special guest.
From March 1st to 6th, the second version of Travel Fest Colombia will be held, the first virtual tourism fair that allows entrepreneurs and actors in the sector to reinvent themselves. This year, the event will have the support of Fontour, and the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Queclina will be guests of honor, with the aim of contributing to the economic reactivation of the islands affected by hurricanes Eta and Iota.
De esa manera, pues creamos un pabellón para San Andrés.
We created a pavilion for San Andres. They are guests of honor, and the invitation to the people who attend Travel Fest is to get to know those small places of accommodation, restaurants, associations, travel agencies, to get to know this island that is spectacular. Additionally, San Andres in this moment of reactivation is investing on cultural tourism. For all the culture that there is in the island, in addition to nautical tourism, and for what I was telling you about, the new beaches that appeared due to the hurricane, for that reason we decided to invite San Andres.
One of the purposes of the fair this year is to help to increase the reservation of vacation and tourism package with the purpose of reactivating the tourism economy in the country. This is what Carolina Escobar, manager of Latam Forum, indicated.
Las expectativas que tenemos con Travel Fest 2 es...
The expectations we have with Travel Fest 2 is to help position entrepreneurs, that all tourists and attendees can learn about these small businesses, travel agencies, start booking their trips, and thus help to revive their businesses. Also, our purpose is to generate alliance and connections in the business conferences that they will have. And we're very interested because we are living in a pandemic where everything has moved to virtuality. We want to help all entrepreneurs in the tourism sector to get involved in the digital world and virtuality.
The first edition of Travel Fest Colombia was held from August 24 to 30 of 2020, with a total of 17,396 people accessing this event website. The organizers want to go beyond these numbers and see if the tourism sector is reactivated for 2021.
And in news from the sister island of Old Providence, the fisherman Rafael Hudson, known as 500, appeared this morning in the neighboring country of Nicaragua. According to the first information, engine failure caused him to drift away.
Today, the relatives of Rafael Hudson are happy and very grateful to God, the community, and the authorities for their help, since the 72-year-old fisherman appeared this morning in Nicaraguan waters. Apparently, Hudson was picked up by a fishing boat from the neighboring country and is being treated on one of their vessels.
If man from Coast Guard come and notify, we say they find him and in the good and intact, and he say was one fire technica from the motor from the launch, so they find find him in Nicaragua water when lancha pesquero pick him up and in work here. So we just wait till they notify we or thing like so we got the chance he can talk with him and hear him voice.
His daughters assured that at no time did they lose faith that the old sea wolf would reappear alive.
Primero, muy agradecida con Dios.
First of all, very thankful with God for keeping us strong. We had the faith and conviction that he would appear alive. The brothers here in San Andres Island and Providence, we are very thankful for everything. To know that a person that is so loved by the community will be back with us at home.
Never really lose our faith. For all time be strong with him, and also I just want to thank the community, everybody will come out and sustain we with the prayer, and then boy will come out and gone out in different lunches, and alcalde Martin from the Secretaría de Deporte, guardacosta, especially Teniente Oscar Hill.
The fisherman is stable in a Nicaraguan vessel. Now a strategic point at sea must be arranged to hand him over to the Colombian Coast Guard authorities, who will transport him back to Old Providence.
And yesterday, a sterilization and primary care brigade for dogs and cats concluded an activity that took place in the municipality with the help of several foundations. This effort seeks to stabilize the population of animals during this season.
2 days of sterilization and primary care for dogs and cats were carried out on the island of Old Providence. This brigade seeks to raise awareness in the community about responsible pet ownership and animal welfare.
Fue una jornada de esterilización.
It was a day of sterilization, and veterinary medical care was also performed. We were able to apply internal and external deworming agents to the animals. This work was a joint work carried out along with the Manejo Humanitario and Adopta No Compres foundations. In this campaign, we were able to intervene approximately 52 animals between dogs and cats.
The fragility of the wild fauna after iota makes pet sterilization very important, while on the other hand, the end of animal abuse is also being sought with this.
Sterilization is very important for the animals in Old Providence. There is a lot of mistreatment and indifference with the animals. We have found animals with burns, machete wounds, and we have found many females inside plastic bags that have been thrown into the sea. Some of them have been saved, while we were able to relocate others.
These foundations have also done an important work in the effort of collecting and sending food for the animals of the department.
We also transport food. We have transported over 25 tons of food for cats, dogs, horses, pigs, and chickens. In San Andres, we have already operated more than 335 dogs and cats.
They will seek to schedule other sterilization brigades in the municipality and more delivery of foods. Therefore, the invitation is for the community to be aware.
Cultural news, singer Haldor Christopher completed 50 years in musical field, a man who has stood out internationally as a musician and actor. In our culture section, we will highlight his artistic work.
Volverás a mis brazos. Autor Eduardo Cabas de la Espriella. Compositor Armando Velázquez. Dirige la orquesta Armando Velázquez. Canta Christopher.
Volverás, volverás, volverás a mis brazos, no podrás olvidar.
As the best in Colombia, Haldor Christopher continues to be recognized, who complete 50 years of artistic career after his presentation in the Ibero-American Telecommunication Organization Festival in 1972, where he was seen as a celebrity. Haldor was born in San Andres but grew up in the city of Cartagena. Even so, he stated that his Caribbean and racial roots have been a great influence in his career. Christopher started in music at the age of 15. Today, his love for this art is still intact. The singer maintains his joy and satisfaction of celebrating these 50 years with his islanders, brothers and sisters.
Good afternoon to all my people from San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina for giving me this opportunity to celebrate my 50 years with all my people Raizal in San Andres, in Providence, and Santa Catalina. My 50 years in the music.
Despite being a novice in this field, he won with the song Volverás a mis brazos by composer Eduardo Cabas de la Espriella. He made several national and international tours and continued to attend festivals. His innate voice and talent led him to interpret multiple genres such as bolero, soul, calypso, ballad, pop, and even reggae.
¡Que viva Cali! ¡Y vamos a cantarlo!